I'd like to introduce Mr. Thomas Pavlik, who I personally haven't made contact with yet, but looking forward to hearing his presentation on a range of research and development projects and technologies with a focus on mining efficiency. Thomas has worked his way up from researcher to project head of the Faculty of Mining, Ecology, Process Control and Geotechnologies with the Technical University of Košice in Slovakia. Okay. He's also a director of the one of the EIT initiatives that Dr. Anna was presenting on as well. So I'll hand it over to you there, Thomas.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to have a related presentation like Anna had because it concerns on EIT RawMaterials and the projects under it, but I'll start more with the importance of raw materials for now. Yeah, I have no doubt that everyone in this community is highly aware of the importance of raw materials, but let me at least briefly highlight this sector at the beginning so that each of us can realize again. Let's realize what happened during the COVID-19 crisis. Feel free to play your personal situation in your head. The borders of the countries have been closed from day to day. We couldn't travel anymore. Most of us have stopped going to work. Our children stopped going to school and started learning from home. And we were also forced to work from home. Events, webinars, and conferences like this must be held remotely. So how lucky we are to have the internet, computers, and smartphones, and other stuff, right? But like all of us here, we know that these devices and systems could not work without the content of metals and raw materials. I put it short: no internet, no modern means of communications, no current means of transport. We wouldn't have such resources as copper, aluminium, lithium, cobalt, and many, many others. By the way, did you know that 12 of the 75 elements in a smartphone can be replaced in any way? It is quite interesting fact, but also disturbing. And on average, a person consumes up to 1.37 million kilograms of raw materials, and this is the approximate weight of the sixth largest civil aircraft, Airbus A380. Well, can you imagine that weight? And also, with arguments as to why raw materials are important, I could go on and on. But the fact is that without raw materials, after the outbreak of COVID, we would simply be cut off from the world, from civilization, and we would wait at home. Of course, we couldn't have homes as such, because in addition to steel structures, cement and concrete also contain metals. And in fact, we probably wouldn't exist without raw materials either, because the core of the earth needs iron and nickel, otherwise there would be no magnetic field. And in order for the ozone layer to hold together, a magnetic field is essential. And also, our body contains about 3% of such raw materials like potassium, sodium, zinc, iron, and our brain needs, for example, magnesium to keep its attention. So I really hope you have, believe you have enough magnesium right now to keep your attention. And as I'm the last presenter of this section, but the key message: why raw materials? Because without them, it would be literally a nightmare. However, we are lucky that all these questions are just hypothetical questions, and we have raw materials at our disposal. But who still doubts that raw materials needs to be mined? Raw materials are here, and all we have to do is to get them from Earth and use them for life in a sustainable way. That's important. With regards to social license to operate, these considerations led me to the following possibilities. We must look for environmentally friendly ways of mining that will provide sufficient resources for our children and their children. And the second dimension of that is the technological process must be environmentally friendly or eliminate the negative effects as much as possible with the principles of the circular economy. At the same time, these technologies must be cost effective, because this is the basic motive of every business entity, but also of states and countries. And thirdly, we must seek substitution for existing resources that are already at risk. For some reason, like Europe is unable to secure their self-sufficiency and must import some raw materials from China, from United States, and from other countries. We really need to work together, to address these challenges. And through the EIT RawMaterials, the European Commission seeks to bring together the best experts from across Europe to address these complex issues. Our center, EIT RawMaterials Regional Center Košice, also has its regional network of the best in its field, and these are basically universities, researchers, small and medium-sized companies, non-governmental organizations, and individuals. Not everyone is focused primarily on mining. In the network, we have a mixture of entities that cover the entire value chain of raw materials, from product or service design through extraction up to reuse and recycling. Any of you can join this network. Most of you certainly have a lot of ideas and projects that we'd like to solve if you just lack partners, finances, or other kind of support. But the critical point is mostly any collaboration is somehow to begin. As proof that this is possible and relatively simple, I will give you an example from my personal experience. I came to the Faculty of Mining, Ecology, Process Control, and Geotechnologies on the Technical University of Košice to work as a PhD student in 2013, after working for the private sector for a few years. And around 2015, the dean of the faculty changed, and the new dean said raw materials as a priority for the faculty. At the time, I didn't really know what he meant. However, our management saw potential in the EIT RawMaterials community, and I was to be an executive component of what constitutes activity in this community. So we started working on the project proposals for the EIT RawMaterials grant scheme, and the management of the faculty worked on the new context, and I worked to ensure that everything was formally secured. Everything was also new to us. We didn't know what some of the abbreviations meant, how exactly such grants are submitted, and so on and so on. We started in the community in 2015, and already in 2016 we had the first projects approved. We also had to take projects that were not very beneficial for us, in a way that it cost us more energy than we benefited, but it was very important that we proved to be a reliable partner. And soon the offers to the project consortia began to come on their own. If you get through this phase, you will receive several invitations to a project consortia from other partners each year. Okay, to date, I would like to say that to date we have received 19 projects under EIT RawMaterials with a total funding of more than 1.3 million euros for our university alone. In addition, the regional hub center Košice has been operating on our university since 2018, and all this happened in just 5 years. What I think that's not bad. And of course, these projects are not just about us. They are mainly about the involvement of a local community of partners who have not even heard of EIT RawMaterials before. For example, the MINEX project, where EuroTelk company wanted to address an innovative mining technology and multi-layer backfilling. And this company became involved in the project proposal. And only when the project was approved for funding, the company became a member of EIT RawMaterials. The project received funding of almost 3 million euros. Or the project Enact SDGs. As part of the project, we are building the dynamic network composed of industrial, research, and academic local partners who can actively participate in the formation of raw material study programs in the country of Eastern and Southeastern Europe. Or similarly, the projects like MEXAMP or DIM-ESE, where we involve our local industry partners to help shape the graduates they need for current and future industries. Last project I will mention is the LIMPRA project, where we are trying to prevent brain drain, talented young people with the potential to start their own business in our region. And we also managed to mediate their partnership for this project for the Technical University in Ostrava, who previously had no experience with EIT RawMaterials, and now they have an allocated budget and are active in the network for other project proposals. So how to be engaged? Just contact our center. We can mainly mediate cooperation into areas of networking and matchmaking, educational activities, and in the area of business creation activities like startups and so on. On our website, in the section activities, and there is a partner form section, you can leave there your information as well as a basic description of your activity or your idea for cooperation. And after submitting the form, we will add you to our network, and we will contact you shortly to find a common intersection. Okay, and to wrap up, if we want to achieve the sustainability of raw materials extraction, we must definitely work together. And the future of global industry really depends on a sustainable supply of raw materials. This is an extremely important vision for the countries of Central and Eastern and Southeastern Europe. So that's basically it. And so share your ideas and make innovation happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the positive message there. And I do really think it makes a lot of sense, the employment opportunities that you're creating, with those projects for professionals and also local communities. I think
thank you.
In the future.